only thing it did was veer off, showing fake love. I could tell it once I said it all. I just stayed cool, acted like it wasn't weird at all. Most of the people that you meet are not who they appear at all. If you want on top, then you wouldn't hear it cheer at all. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all. I ain't got no talk, cause I be really out my mind. When the hate don't work, I guarantee they get the line. They all talk, dog, it's a room full of brinds. I'm royalty, that means that it's in my bloodline. All hell the king, made the president resign. And if I'm not the king, then I'm making doves cry. I'm stepping on the scene like I never did reply. I ain't gotta justify, I'm cool. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted on my cardio, I used to get the run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, one o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 29, Jackson. That'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
I'm gonna go.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Baron Browning buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Jackson. He'll set up the screen to Drake. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And I think really good defenders can sniff out those screen passes. Just something that they can feel, something that they can sense about how the quarterback drops back or how the linemen are just a little slow to block the oncoming rushers. He read it perfectly. Got in there and made the play.
And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. And the next-gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 19-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And
you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. There he goes, left side. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They try the left side here with Williams. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll get this underneath to Edmonds. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On 1st down, Wilson. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Wilson's throw here taken in by Isabella. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Wilson will throw again. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, your first drive of the 1st quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
We know it's primarily a passing league now, but anytime a runner breaks one like that, you've got to have a secondary that can find a way to him and find a way to get him on the ground. Absent of that, he's going to find the end zone every time.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the... for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
A first down throw for Mayfield. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
They'll go for it with Edmonds. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can
and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, and he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Baron Browning able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The big...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throw left side complete to Isabella. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep it bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Mayfield now from the 50. Williams brings it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 28. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mayfield on play action. This pass caught by Hamler. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Mayfield. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Mayfield. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Rocked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Fourth down, Mayfield. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Baron Browning able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has now allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up 4th down. Mayfield to throw it. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. To throw, Mayfield. This one caught by Isabella. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Let's go.
Mayfield off the play fake. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is down to 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's Edwards again on second down. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's Jackson to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On second down, this is Edmonds. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run here. It's Murray. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And he's got room. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here. Yeah,
you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Running left, here's Edmonds. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
On second down, it's Drake. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. On the option right is Jackson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So still 14 yards to go, second down. Up the middle, here's Edwards. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On third down, Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
On the handoff, Edwards. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw there complete to Hamler. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on
touchdown. Andy Isabella with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
On third down, they're going to go with the option. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Checking in on Houston. It's in the fourth quarter there. And it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Got his man, it's Dulcich. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Mayfield on first down. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11, as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Mayfield looks to throw. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5. Mayfield now. That ball complete to Isabella. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And
he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a...
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
Well, it's been a tough day, but they finally were able to get one into the end zone, and maybe the offense will feel a little bit better about itself going into next week.
And if you're a coach taking that into next week, I know you're upset, but it is a little bit more respectable, somewhat of a moral victory, right?
Yeah, they probably won't say a lot of that to the team, but it is true. It's something for them to build on, and then they can call their mom and tell her, hey, Mom, for your fantasy points, we got you a few down the stretch.
Take it in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And they will take a knee here. And they'll indeed take a knee. Heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
Hey, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Baltimore, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Denver, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7.